Okay, let's start our countdown. Let's begin our countdown with a meteorological phenomenon. Pag-asa says yesterday marked the beginning of the autumnal and vernal equinoxes. This simply means that longer nights are expected in the Philippines as neither the Earth's pole is tilted. Days and nights will be approximately 12 hours long, with the sun rising at 5:45 a.m. and setting at 5:53 p.m. The Weather Bureau adds that we also now can expect cooler weather. This as we already are transitioning from habagat to amihan or the northeast monsoon.
Pero
cooler weather.
Yes, ito yung inaasahan natin. No? Pero there are certain areas pa rin in our country na nakakaranas pa rin ng southwest monsoon o yung habagat. Iyon yung Northern Luzon, Ilocos, yung sa may Ilocos region, Cagayan Valley. Hindi pa sila tuluyan na makakaranas nga nitong amihan. And we'll be expecting 4 to 7 typhoons pa rin coming in.
Hindi porket may ganito daw, ligtas na tayo sa bagyo kasi wala pa rin official declaration ng La Nina. We still have to expect that.
September daw yun yung sa La Nina.
Well, until yung nakausap Pag-asa last week, wala pa naman, but they're looking at it. Hopefully, yung mga bagyo, we're praying na hindi na ganun kalala ang pagbaha. Kasi sa September alone, ang laki ng damage ang report. Ang damage to almost 600 million ata.
Yes.
Lost to life. 3 bagyo lang yan in 1 month.
Since January na naka-9 na bagyo na tayo dito sa bansa natin.
Pero yung damage na na-incur nitong 3 bagyo sa September alone. Ang laki-laki.
So
Karina, Helen, and Hener.
So initially, yung report nila, there are already 25 deaths, 13 injured, and 8 missing. Dahil nga dito sa mga combined effects ng southwest monsoon, tapos yung mga bagyo na pumasok sa atin. But speaking of bagyo, ito po ay kasunod din para sa ating countdown. Entering the 9th spot, the Filipino youth calls for more training and skill-building opportunities in disaster risk reduction. A recent poll conducted by the United Nations revealed that 1 in 3 Filipino youths is asking for better access to information on disaster risk reduction. 26% of the 657 participants aged 15 to 24 years old also stated their need to develop their skills in relation to disasters. UN conducted the poll after the recent devastation of Typhoon Karina, which claimed at least 40 lives.
That would be a good program.
Naman yan,
Pinagdaanan natin yan before, long time ago. That's disaster training, rescue training, and first aid training in relation mostly to disasters and accidents. Madami tayong natutunan. Like pag nag-flood, what's the best way to swim and float with the flood? Diba? They'll teach you to go along with the current. Huwag mo lalaban ng current. Tapos pwede mo gamitin ang maong pants mo or yung t-shirt mo as a floating device.
Kung wala ka talagang makuha
they'll teach you how to do it, di ba? Mga position na meron.
Simple as yung anong tawag doon, yung sa mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, etc. Basic life skills.
Actually, diba? a lot of organizations naman, mga NGOs, they provide training for this. They just have to look it up. Seminars, basic trainings. Marami naman dyan. Malaking bagay.
Lifelong knowledge ito, no? Para din sa mga kabataan na para pag halimbawa may mga ganitong pangyayari, hindi sila isa sa mga iintindihin pa. Diba? At least kahit paano may basic silang kaalaman tungkol sa ganito, disaster risk reduction.
At least they're competent on their own. Kasi yung word na pag inintindi sila during during a calamity or disaster, instead of saving more lives, baka nabawasan.
At saka yung yung feeling na alam mong may alam ka sa panahon ng sakuna, 'di ba? Hindi ka matataranta, hindi mo alam kung ano yung gagawin mo.
Although hindi nga siya guarantee na
makaligtas
ka, but at least you have a fighting chance. Okay, next in our countdown. The LTFRB insists that the ongoing transport strike had little to no impact to commuters. Now, the agency claims that only a few jeepney drivers and operators joined the nationwide transport protest. However, News 5 encountered some commuters who struggled to ride a jeepney to their work yesterday. Piston and Manibela are leading the transport strike against the government's PUV Modernization Program. Cubao, Quiapo Jeepney Operators and Drivers Association President Alan Figueroa described the cooperative program as bogus.
Paano yung mga drivers operator? Di bebenta ngayon yan kung sinong mataas na bidding sa kanila ibibigay prangkisa para yung mga modern tatakbo sa rota namin.
Yun.
You cannot truly say naman na nag-flop yung transport strike. Kasi mga schools nag-declare naman na walang pasok. So therefore, yung regular commuting public,
sila.
Oo, yung regular commuting public na inaasahan
medyo
nabawasan. So hindi mo magigage yan. Kasi every time na lang may transport strike, nagde-declare yung ibang klase, yung schools, para ma-mitigate yung effect na walang pasok. Tapos may ayuda na transport ayuda from the government, di ba?
So, or LG.
So if you do this, talagang hindi mo mararamdaman ng transport strike. We want to see ano ba talaga epekto ng transport strike. No less than the government said, hindi mararamdaman yan dahil yung nakikita nyo hindi makasakay, normal yun. Normal na pala yun . And yet,
pero may mga areas pa rin na nakita natin na hirapan din yung mga commuters. Yung
kaya nga, ang sabi
regularly na pumapasok sa kanilang trabaho.
Sabi ng government, normal lang daw yun. Yun ang point. Normal nga sa atin na hirapan sumakay, tapos babawasan nyo pa ng ano. I hope we can fix this. Kasi it's not only the jeepney drivers who will suffer, even the riding public.
So I think this is not the last time that they're going to do a transport strike. Itong grupo na to dahil nga sa kanilang opposition.
In history, it's never the last time.
Modernization program na to ng gobyerno. But alright, coming up, why did Vice President Sara Duterte snubbed the House hearing on her office's 2025 proposed budget?
And did Alice Go test positive for a lung infection?
Ano ba yung mga balita natin? Pag-uusapan po natin yan, mga kapatid. We are just getting started. More of our top 10 news when Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Babati lang ako mabilis dun sa mga regular viewers natin. Si Gary ko dito sa YouTube, si Gary ko, si Oscar, si Ronald Maxtay, si Tita Daisy, and Tito Naldi Cancio. Yan ang mga regular sa si Alex Fuentes dito.
Sabi ni ibang viewers, at ang dami na daw babae mula Thursday. Iba-iba ang diba, Thursday.
Si Ralph Domingo, si Migs Ebron, Gary Field and Sam Pokemon Go. Yan ang mga lagi
nang galing.
Si VJ.
Kwento mo saan ka nang galing?
Sa Negros. Diba?
Mo sa Negros.
Gumawa tayo ng storya doon.
Independent
story document.
Dahil
sa Good Morning doon sa mga taga Negros sa Bacolod.
Yan.
Nag-asikaso sa amin doon, tsaka yung army doon na nag-provide ng security para sa amin. Thank you so much.
And ito, sabi ni Carlo, wag daw lagyan ng asukal ang kape para mapait.
Bakit?
Mapait kami. Dahil iniwan mo daw kami. So, bitter coffee. Walang ampalaya . So,
buti na lang, hindi ako umiinom ng kape. Na-miss ko yung mga pa-food natin dito sa table.
Kala mo naman.
Kala
mo naman ganun, puto and kuchinta. Kala mo naman wala ganyan sa Negros. Dami-daming ganyan sa Bacolod.
Marami piyaya. Sarap piyaya. Chicken Bacolod, kansi. Naku, napakasarap. Okay, sige, let's continue with our countdown.
Bilang Pilipino, bilang Pilipino.
Going now to our seventh spot is the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC. COMELEC assures voters that one of its data centers is safe and secured from potential harms ahead of the 2025 midterm elections. The Vitro Data Center in Makati will house the servers that will be used in the upcoming polls. Aside from strict security features, the Vitro Data Center is also designed to withstand possible natural disasters like earthquake and flood. The data center was previously off limits to the media in the previous elections, but COMELEC decided to let the public see its features this time.
Naka-cage din yung server ng COMELEC dito. Ngayon, nag-request tayo, i-request namin na may CCTV rin. Doon mismo sa cage. Nakafocus sa cage mismo. Kaya napaka-importante ang high security measure sa mga ganito. In fact, dati, hindi pinapakita talaga ng COMELEC Alam niyo naman yung concern. Baka kung ano ang gawin, ano ang mangyari.
Okay.
Yun, so kasi this coming elections now, we're using a new system. Tapos pagpasok po ng ballot mo sa server, automatic kasing resulta nagkukumpulan na at the end of the tapos isang bato na lang sa server.
Totoo yan.
So ang servers na pupuntahan niya are the servers that are accredited by COMELEC, 'di ba? You have yung sa atin.
Tatlo yan eh. Oo,
Tatlo, and then
tatlong server
two
yan.
other
Magka-house
networks.
ng
Oo. So at ang goal dito kasi ng COMELEC is dati kasi meron nagka-cut off tayo at 95 to 97% sa voting. Ngayon, we will all have the same results real time from COMELEC
Yun.
to the media and the transparency servers. We'll all have the same results. Dati kasi iba-ibang server galing sa ibang presinto, galing sa ibang baluarte. So iba-iba ang dating ng votes.
Oo. Tapos speaking of transparency, sinasabi nga din ng COMELEC, i-open nila to sa media and of course dun sa most especially dun sa mga election watchdogs like NAMFREL, PPCRV, Lente at saka iba pa mga IT expert groups na pwede silang sumama dun sa mga inspection para makita at ma-explain sa kanila yung mga katanungan nila, yung mga duda nila dito sa paggawa ng COMELEC sa mangyayaring election.
Yeah, sabi ni Attorney George, the actual server, the hardware, yung pinaka mainframe niya, naka-online siya sa CCTV.
Oo.
So na makikita ng public yung secured yung server. Kasi may mga
Yes.
agam-agam minsan, baka may pumapasok sa server, may nagli-link up ng mga USB cord or mga system, di ba?
And I think sabi rin niya even the IP addresses na
They change every so often daw.
Tsaka IP addresses na yan, papaalam nila din sa lahat
Oo.
for the sake of transparency. Kasi naging issue rin yan before.
Papaalam
if you
nila,
can remember. Oo, yun ang sabi nila.
Katakot yun,
And itong vitro na to na sinasabi nila, I was reading about it, na yun nga, nabasa ko rin kanina na it can withstand yung mga natural disaster like earthquake, flood. Tapos, di ba, alam naman natin sa history ng election natin, biglang nagba-brown out, ganyan. Ito, sa vitro daw, doon natin masisubukan kung tama na kapag nag-brown out, sila talaga automatic sasalo. At it can withhold at least 3 days ng operation ng
Oo, at saka parang
servers.
for lack of a better term kasi hindi man ako techie, parang multiple redundancy system. Kasi there are systems that are called multiple redundancy.
Oo.
These are earthquake systems na sa US that the stock exchange uses. Pag nag-earthquake, nagko-collapse, nagka-cut off sa power, or mawawala ng power yung current system, binabato niya to a secondary system. Tapos pag na yun, binabato niya to a third. So parang madami siyang backup within a backup to ensure that the data is safe and secure, hindi mawawala.
Sige. So hopefully we can talk to COMELEC para mas ma-explain sa atin ito, no? Tsaka of course yung mga agam-agam ng mga election watchdogs. But for the meantime, let's continue with our countdown.
Coming in at the top 6, several groups from Mindanao have expressed support for the senatorial bids of Chekibam. They are former Senators Kiko Pangilinan and Bam Aquino and human rights lawyer Chel Jokno. They received backing from several groups. These include Akbayan Davao, Unlad Kabataan, Davao Free Farmers, and People Power Volunteer for Reform. Pangilinan, Aquino, and Jokno will run under the Liberal Party, Katipunan ng Nagkakaisang Pilipino, and Akbayan Party respectively.
Well, for them, sabi nila, big help daw ang Mindanao for them. Kasi, di ba, konti lang ang machinery, makinarya ng kanilang mga partido.
Yeah.
And by, declaring their support for them, it's really going to be
Tsaka
a big help.
last week, di ba, were you here ba? I don't remember kung kailan natin nabalitaan. Last week na, parang na-announce na rin ni Chel Jokno that he will be running very closely now with the Akbayan party list. Which is no surprise to many because Chel Jokno is a human rights activist lawyer. Yung flag niya, yung Free
Yes.
Legal Assistance Group. And they're very in line with Akbayan na supposedly human rights group also
Human
ito.
rights group, yung mga kaso-kaso, di ba,
Yeah.
ng mga kababayan
So
natin.
he will run with them and
Parang di ba, when we had former Senator Bam Aquino
Yes.
dito, on a different party siya, pero may alliances with the Liberal Party.
oo.
So ito yung kanila, yung check.
And Akbayan, Gabriela, yung mga grupo na have time and again proven effective in delivering votes two respective candidates. Tignan mo si Senator Risa Ontiveros, she survived the Senate bid. Where other senators from the Liberal
Last
Party,
woman standing nga eh.
di ba, yung mga liberal, they didn't
opposition.
make it, but she made it, and hindi lang yung pasang-awa. She made, at least sa bandang gitna, pumasok si Senator Risa Ontiveros. So,
Tingnan natin,
let's see
kasi
if they can deliver these votes.
Dun sa recent survey na lumabas last week, although maganda yung performance yung cheque bang umakyat sila, pero hindi pa rin sila doon sa mga numbers na inaasahan, 'di ba? Kasi ang number one pa rin, of course, yung sa Tulfo,
Yeah.
sila, even Senator Tolentino is not in the top 5.
Well, hindi naman to top of mind survey. So,
yeah,
let's wait.
commission siya.
Let's wait
Okay,
after
sige.
the filing.
Oo. Pero let's move forward pa rin at tungkol sa politika pa rin itong ating pag-uusapan sa countdown natin. Settling at the fifth spot is the Leni-Sara meeting. The camp of former Vice President Leni Robredo said they felt they were used by her successor, Sara Duterte, in the recent catch-up. In an interview with Storycon, Robredo's spokesperson Barry Gutierrez said the meeting had only generated buzz and intrigues. He added that the public should ask VP Sara what happened in their meeting. Gutierrez also emphasized that Robredo will always choose the moral high ground despite VP Sara's previous remarks against her.
I can only speculate that probably one of the intentions was precisely to create yung ganitong klaseng buzz, mag-create ng ganitong klaseng intriga. Dahil alam naman niya na si VP Leni will not refuse a meeting. But at the same time, alam din niya na hindi lang basta-basta si VP Leni papasok sa isang usapan. Lalo na kung tungkol na nga yan sa politika.
Now, to get more insights about this, we have political persuasion specialist and campaign strategist Alan Herman via Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, Alan. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure. Your audio, Alan.
Yeah, nakamute po.
There you go.
There you go.
Anyway, Alan, thank you for joining us. And I'd like to ask you about this recent meeting between Sara Duterte and Leni Robredo. Now, was this a calculated move by Sara Duterte to try to win over the pink votes, or was this a mutual move by both camps?
Well, I would say it's obviously 100% calculated in terms of intentionality and being able to engineer it so much so that, as Attorney Barry said, they were sort of put on the spot and had no choice but to receive the sitting vice president. So, in as much as that's concerned, I'm almost 100% certain. Now, in terms of the motive behind it, of course, only VP Sara herself knows exactly why she did it. It can range from anything from closure to asking for advice to so many. I mean, it runs the gamut of possibilities. But for me, I'm not sure if it's necessarily a move to court the pink vote. I think it's really more of instilling doubt, instilling question marks in the head of her now proclaimed opponents. The Marcos and the Romualdez camp. I think it was more of that. I think it's more of getting them to really scratch their heads and to wonder out loud and to be put in that uncomfortable spot of what did they talk about? What the heck is going on here? Did she spill any so-called secrets? Well, what's going on? So I think that it was more of that than necessarily courting the pink votes.
Yeah, but is it possible also yung sa narrative naman na malihis yung issue, 'di ba, dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte regarding the budget deliberation, kaya ginawa niya ito? Is that also a possibility?
Alam mo, Ma'am Angel, that is the world we operate in, di ba? It's really a matter of yung word na ginamit mo is lihis, to divert. In this case, I'm not sure if that is a good tactic because this was, I mean, if you really wanted to divert attention away from a pressing issue against yourself, the best way actually to do that is to lay low, what we call bunker mode, and to amplify other tangential issues around it, not necessarily about yourself. But what she did by doing this, again, we're having the fact that I'm talking to you and the branchies and all of our viewers and listeners is already testament to the fact that if she wanted to divert attention away from herself, well, this was probably not the best way to do it.
Yeah, Alan, I'd like to ask, no, we spoke to Senator Trillanes last week and he said he called out VP Leni and ang explanation ng mga ibang mga on both sides, they're saying, why will you call out VP Leni when Senator Trillanes himself was trying to make an alliance between the Marcoses and the Yellows? So is this the counter of VP Sara in time for the filing of certificate of candidacies in hopes to get their numbers up? Kasi as you see, Alan, yung mga numbers ng mga Dutertes have been steadily declining this past few months.
Well, it is not, again, the intentionality might not be it, but the offshoot, it would be a very, very happy offshoot for the Duterte camp if they are able to get the still substantial votes in support of the so-called pinks and yellows, no? Kasi whatever happens, you're still talking about 30% of the electorate that she was able to mobilize last elections against a gargantuan, perhaps never to be seen in our political history type of alliance.
Yeah.
In Marcos Duterte union, the Uniteam, di ba? The mighty, formidable, unprecedented Uniteam. And VP Leni still was able to get 15 million votes. So we're still talking about 30% of the electorate. If the Duterte camp is able to tap into that, maybe get even a percentage of that, that's definitely a happy circumstance for them. Game theory wise, but again, if we're applying game theory to this kind of maneuver, we're not sure if that's the outcome that will necessarily come about, because yung mga ibang naman nagalit, the so-called hardline dilawans, di ba? Not to use the term derogative in a derogative way, no, but yung mga hardline dilawans nagalit naman, ba't tinanggap mo yan? Bakit mo pinapasok sa bahay mo? But again, as I know, VP Leni, perhaps the same way Attorney Barry knows her, she really will always take the high road. Radikal ang magmahal, di ba? As she always says.
Oo. So do you think na tama naman yung ginawa ni former Vice President Leni Robredo in receiving Vice President Sara Duterte?
In that, I will definitely disagree with my senator, one of my senator idols, Senator Trillanes. Siya, galit na galit siya. Ako, I think she did the right thing, absolutely. I think it would have created a multitude of other problems if she had said no to that meeting, or lumabas yung balita na papunta na si VP Sara doon tapos tinanggihan niya. I think that would have said more about VP Leni than it would have, kasi yung optics noon sa Pilipino ang sama eh. Alam mo, tayo Pilipino culturally we're wired that way. Nagkukumbaba na yung tao, papunta na sa'yo, pinupuntahan ka na sa tahanan mo, tapos hinindian mo. Iba yung optic. So I think VP Leni, in character, I don't think she was playing a role. I don't think she was doing it disingenuously or tactically. It's just who she is. That's really who she is and how I know her, at least.
Yeah, I'd like last question sa akin, Alan. No? We all know kasi election na and VP Leni has declared her intent to run for mayor sa hometown niya. Ngayon, I'd like to ask, she is being dubbed also as a new kingmaker in the politics. You have you have former President Gloria Macapagal-Oroy. You also have Erap Magic. Do you think she'll still have this impact in these coming elections, considering na watak na ang Uniteam?
Babalikan ko yung term na ginamit ko just a few seconds ago na yung game theory. Pag in-apply mo kasi yun, what we call a Mexican standoff, when the two main players, the adversaries, are engaging in mutually assured destruction, so to speak, as the Marcos and Duterte camps are doing. It is the ones in the periphery that will rise. So you're looking out for the Tulfos, you're looking out for the resurgence of the Leni camp. You're looking for the outliers na baka may lumabas pa by 2027. So sila ang nagbe-benefit pag yung mutually assured destruction ng two key players ang pinag-uusapan. Yung mga naka-popcorn mode, yan yung mga aangat. So the answer wow, I took a really long-winded way to answer your question, but the answer is absolutely yes. Yes.
Parang ano lang, Ana, parang Game of Thrones lang.
Yeah.
Oo, merong Westeros, merong nandiyan si Cersei Lannister. Kumpletos tayo dito. Triple A tayo ngayon, by the way. Di ba? Si
Right.
Angelo, si Miss Angel, tsaka si Alan.
Oy.
Oo
So,
nga, triple A,
So
pwede.
dapat, because of that, kailangan bumalik ka at mag-guest ka
Yes.
ulit dito. May AAA segment tayo.
Oo, kasi wala na tayong oras but we have so much
Yeah,
questions
oo.
pa eh. So sa susunod sana, you're still available. But for the meantime, maraming salamat sa iyo. That was political persuasion specialist and campaign strategist, Alan Herman. Thank you, sir.
thank you very much.
All right, let's continue with our countdown.
Arriving at the fourth spot is the Office of the President's budget proposal. The Senate has approved the Office of the President's 2025 budget proposal in just 10 minutes. No senators raised questions after Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin delivered detailed the Office of the President's requested budget. President Bongbong Marcos's office is asking for 10.5 billion pesos, which is 1.88% lower compared to its current budget. Bersamin insisted that the current budget proposal is already enough for the office to do its mandate. The budget is now up for plenary debates.
Ganon kabilis.
Ay, hindi, kasi naman-
Office of the President.
With all due respect, you might not agree with the politics of the president, but historically, he's still the president of the nation with a mandate from the people.
Traditionally, ganun ang ginagawa nila
They-
with the Vice President.
And
Pero
he
ngayon
needs,
kasi,
he needs to have
hindi nakaalyado.
Oo nga, he needs, no, I'm saying he needs to have a sense of power and control as a president to do his, without going through the Congress. Sometimes may mga programs na kailangan niya gawin eh. Pero
dapat pantay-pantay. Kung kailangan ng isa-isahin, di ba? Okay, pero usaping budget pa rin tayo sa susunod na. Na-miss mo yung argument natin. Sige, next countdown na. The House of Representatives deferred the plenary debates on the proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President. Here's the report.
Vice President Sara Duterte was again a no-show in the budget hearing of the House Appropriations Committee.
Nagtatanong pa rin kami, nasaan po ang ating Vice President? Kasi kanina naka-schedule po kami sa 10 o'clock at walang magandang explanation.
Duterte was in Camarines Norte to visit several local officials groups. The Vice President also sent a letter to budget sponsor Congressman Zia Alonte, saying that she will let the House of Representatives decide on her budget. 9 agencies were lined up for budget deliberations on Monday. But since there were no representatives from the OVP, its budget was again deferred. The lower house targets to approve the over 6 trillion peso 2025 budget of the government by Wednesday. If Duterte won't show up, the lawmakers will decide on her budget. The OVP is requesting for over 2 billion pesos for next year, but the Appropriations Committee already recommended a 1.3 billion cut.
Sara Duterte!
Amid the budget hearing, critics of Duterte held a rally in front of Congress to call for her resignation.
Ha?
Secret.
Ano sabi? Impeach Sara daw. Umiingay ang impeachment pero walang kinalaman ng Congress dyan. Wala.
Wala daw.
Oo.
Sige, go.
We'll be back after a short break, pero may special guest tayo sa studio.
Abangan
Not
nyo,
one, but two.
Okay. Oh, hindi pa Friday today, pero may brunch break na tayo. And for our brunch break, we are joined by some of the cast of Ang Himala ni Niño.
Isabel Oli and Kai Cortez are now joining us live here in the studio. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having
Welcome to Brunch.
Kahit kayo ng puto.
Welcome to Brunch.
Sana lahat ng guesting ganito.
So, may puto. If you want kutsinta later, go lang.
Okay.
So, anyway, habang kumakain kayo dyan, syempre, we're very excited doon sa magiging papel ninyo sa bagong TV series
Yes,
ng
oo.
TV5, which is yung Ang Himala ni Niño. So, can you tell us ano yung magiging role ninyo dito? Ikaw muna.
Ako si Hershey, kapatid ni Kisses. So, sanay
Oy,
pa
Hershey
namin.
Kisses.
Yes.
Okay.
Kami sa chocolate. And yung lolo namin ay si Mars.
Tatay.
Tatay
namin ay si Lolo Mars.
Okay.
Chocolate.
Yes.
Chocolate lovers.
Okay.
Sister ako na medyo strict. Medyo ba?
Ha? Parang yun
Very
talaga yung
strict.
ano eh.
And kasi naman ito, super kikay, the friendly one, outgoing. Ako yung nasa bahay lang, parang ganun, conservative. So yun. Conflict na.
Siya yung naka-long sleeves, na mataas yung neckline.
Kaya
Ako
mga
yung
revealing clothes.
naka-hanging, na kinukurot palagi.
Parang nakikita ko lang, imagine ko na yung magiging dynamics ng
Magulo.
dalawa.
Yes.
Diba? Pero I was wondering kasi we all know naman na marami kayong mga naging characters na in the past, diba? So how are you guys preparing for this role naman? Diba?
Ito kasing Nino, ay Malani Nino, came from Nino.
Yes.
So this is the younger version of Nino. So, medyo nakaka-pressure siya in a way kasi may pinanggalingan siyang very high rating show. And may expectations na ang tao. So kung ano mapapanood nila, i-burst na natin ang bubble. Wala po si Maha. Wala po kasi ito yung mas batang version ni Nino. Pero yung pagkaka-explain naman po sa amin at sa nabasa namin sa script, it's very community-based. Si Nino ang bida, but the stories are, alam mo yon, na-highlight lahat ng characters. So walang small role. So ang sarap kasi pagkabigay sa amin ng script is gagalingan mo dahil hindi siya parang isang line lang ako dito. Meron talagang character arc lahat. So it works together.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ayun. Siyempre, ano pa ba yung mga dapat namin abangan dito sa Himala ninyo when it comes to, of course, yung relevance nito sa atin bilang mga Pilipino?
Ninyo kasi sa Journey of a Little Boy, na yun talaga yung follow mo. He brings light and hope sa community namin na Barangay Bukang Liwayway. This show is punong-puno, siksik ng stories about family, kulitan, laughter. It's very, very light. Pero at the same time, mabigat yung lessons na matutunan nyo dito.
Wow.
So that's what we want to spread na parang to inspire people, while watching. It's a great bonding, di ba?
Yes, kasi parang hindi lang siya pang matanda. Pwede mo rin isama yung mga anak kasi may mga anak na kami. So we're very excited that we can bring our kids and watch all together and enjoy the show. Kasi hindi lang siya entertaining, kapupulutan nga rin ang aral. And it's not only about good morals and values, faith din sa Panginoon. Kasi incorporated din ang paniniwala.
But it looks like the way you're saying it, no, parang the show is a very light. So ang question ko is, because we had Nino, the actor here the other day, and Zion, no? He seems like a very gifted young fellow.
Cute.
How was it working amongst all of you? I mean, kasi your show is parang camaraderie, community-based. So I'm sure dapat ang dating sa screen is authentic. So how are you guys together before you shot this, and how are you guys together right now?
Alam mo, nagpaplastikan lang talaga.
About good morals. Charot.
Bagay ko sa character mo.
Si Kisses.
Si Kisses.
So,
Yes, kapatid.
Hindi, masaya kami sa set. Actually, it's not really hard to act. Kasi parang family talaga kami sa set. Sabi ko parang nakailang tapings pa lang kami. Sabi ko, alam mo, sabi ko sa handler ko, mamimiss ko talaga tong show na to. Sabi ko, iba yung bonding namin eh.
Correct.
Kaya yung nakikita nyo talaga, ganun. Well, syempre, may mga funny moments lang minsan sa mga nakakalimutan namin, may mga bata pala. So, parang mga ganyang moments. May
May swear jar na eh. Parang mayaman na yung mga bata. And then, tsaka in fairness kasi sa writers po namin, talagang ang ganda ng pagkakaisip nila. Kasi lahat may meaning. So, as actors, masarap mag-act na ganun eh, na napili kami for such roles na ang ganda ng plano sa amin. Kaya pagdating sa set, parang ang natural ng be-blend naming lahat. With the kids pa, oh my God, napaka-cute na mga bata.
totoo.
Nakakatuwa.
Sila yung
Ang galing
energy
nila.
namin minsan.
Nakaka-intimidate minsan kasi sila pa yung perfect yung lines talaga.
Parang
Kasi yung mga nila magaling mag-memorize.
Pinaiyak daw si Nino, di ba? Pinaiyak daw si Nino in a matter of 5 to 10 seconds. Bumagsak na yung luha
Silang lahat
kaagad.
pong mga bata.
Oo.
Mga apat po sila talagang very gifted. Abangan mo talaga.
So, what
Actually, ngayon ko lang nakita yung mga natin, no?
Yung mga videos nyo.
Yung mga vlogs.
But syempre naman, invite our viewers to watch it. And what can they expect? Kailan ba? Kailan ba ang laba?
September 30. It's 11:15 Monday to Friday. Before 8 Bulaga po.
Ayun.
Yes.
You want to add something?
Ayan, mga
Encourage
kapatid.
them to watch.
Huwag niyo pong kakalimutan panoorin ang Himala ni Nino dito lang sa TV5.
Yan, si Hershey at si, tama?
Kisses.
Tapos with Daddy Mars o
Lola Mars.
Lola Mars. Perfect. All
Naku,
right.
parang gusto ko tuloy kumain ng chocolate. Pero na-excite ako. Kasi kami, may anak na rin kami. So, maganda nga mapanood din.
With all the stress of life, it's
Oo,
nice
yung
to watch
ngayon,
something that's pamparelax. Yeah, light.
Light. At saka kapupulutan ng aral.
All right, with that, thank you very much for joining us, Isabel Oli and Kai Cortez. It's a pleasure to have you guys on Brunch. Good morning.
Good luck and papanoorin talaga namin yan.
Salamat po.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa po tayo sa ating countdown, so stay with us.
Welcome back.
Kayo nga,
Sino
stay
ba?
pala yan.
Sino
Ikaw,
yung pangalan?
ako yung ako yung
Galing ka lang sa Negros Occidental nangaagaw ka na ng prop. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Nakatatlong brunch break na tayo. Napakaswerte naman ng viewers natin. Blessed with wonderful cast members from yung Himala ni Nino.
Ano nga ako dito parang fan mode ako kasi gusto ko yan si Kai Cortez. So, sige. Alright, saka ang ganda-ganda ni Isabel Odi. Okay, let's continue with our countdown.
Straight on to our top two. 7 individuals said to be cohorts of Alice Go in the Pogo Hub in Tarlac have surrendered to authorities. The NBI presented them on Monday before turning them over to the Pasig City Regional Trial Court. 5 of them surrendered to NBI Central Luzon, while 2 others surrendered to Task Force in Bamban. Among them is
Malabas na mga responsible dun sa Hongsheng Incorporators at saka sa Sun Yuan Incorporators. Lahat ito ay mga masasabi natin na bogus corporation ni Alice Guo.
Among them is Jamie Lynn Santos Cruz, president of the Pogo Hub Zun Yuan Technology in Bamban. She insists her company is not illegal, or at least it wasn't when she was still handling the papers.
Ang investment na po ito nung inalok po sa akin ay online gaming. For online gaming, opo. Ngayon po, nung ako po ay pumasok na dito, ito po ay legal because I myself go to PAGCOR and meet the officials of OGLD, Offshore Gaming License Department, at ilang beses din po na ako ay naka-attend ng mga patawag ni Chairman Altenco.
Ngayon, iba sa mga 7 na yan have claimed that nagamit lang daw ang name nila sa papers because I think some of them were involved in taking out loans sa isang lending company. And we all know naman...
Parang yung iba, call center lang.
Yeah, call center. As we all know naman kasi pag nag-umutang ka isang lending company, they pass your contact details sa call
Parang
center.
database
In turn,
nila.
pag pumasok na sa call center yan, nasa scrub list ka na. So a lot of people, they sell this. Alam natin yan.
Yes,
kasi we were in the BPO industry before. There's a scrub list that you can buy to use as leads. Yun ang claim nila. But sabi naman ni Winston Casio, they have to prove that with evidence. The burden of proof should be on them to prove na mistaken identity or ginamit lang ang identity nila.
Tapos yung isa nga, di ba sinasabi niya, well, connected ako sa kanila, pero at that time, ang alam niya, legal. Di ba yung ginagawa nila? Well, yun nga, tulad ng sinabi mo, kailangan nilang patunayan. Pero at least they have surrendered na, kasi mahirap naman magtago talaga sa batas.
Yun ang word dyan. They surrendered, therefore, I'm sure it will affect their case in the future with mitigating circumstances. Mapapadali.
Gaano ba kalalim yung connection nila dito sa kaso na to? Pero meron pa rin mga at large, mostly mga foreign nationals, specifically Chinese.
Basta gusto natin malaman sino pinaka-big boss dito sa lahat.
Itong 7 na nag-surrender na to, ang kaso nila is human trafficking, di ba? Tama?
Hindi ko alam.
Alam ko human trafficking yung cases nila. Pero mabigat-bigat yun kasi
Saka,
bail yun eh.
Aside from human trafficking, pati yung papeles ata sa Pogo Hubs, may mga, their names were part of the supposedly investors, if I'm not mistaken. Some of them, not all of them.
But speaking of course, Pogo, ito na po ang ating top story for today. Our top story for today is Alice Go. The dismissed mayor is now detained in the crowded Pasig City Jail female dormitory yesterday. Meanwhile, 7 of Go's co-accused in her qualified human trafficking cases have surrendered to authorities. Here's the report.
From the PNP Custodial Center in Camp Crame, dismissed Mayor Alice Go is now detained in Pasig City Jail female dormitory. Go was transferred to her new jail 9 a.m. yesterday. She underwent the usual procedure like wearing an inmate shirt and taking a mugshot. Go was transferred based on the commitment order released by the Pasig Regional Trial Court Branch 167 for her non-bailable qualified human trafficking case. The former Bamban Tarlac mayor was also wearing a face mask during the procedure. Based on her medical exam at the PNP General Hospital, Go has an infection in her lung. She was initially placed in an isolated cell with 3 other detainees recovering from tuberculosis or TB. A subsequent test revealed that Go is negative for TB. She was immediately placed in cell number 3 where she will share a cramped space with 43 other inmates. The cell was designed for only 9 inmates, but because of the overcrowding, some of the inmates were sleeping on the floor.
Paulit-ulit naming sinasabi, no VIP treatment. And kapag in-isolate namin yan sa ibang, o mag-isa siya, o kaya kahit konti sila doon, hindi ba parang it sends a message of VIP? Ayaw po namin ng ganun.
While Go was being transferred, the Pasig RTC ordered the return of Go to the PNP Custodial Center. This as her legal camp filed a motion against the transfer, but it was too late. The order was declared as moot since Go was already in Pasig City Jail when it was released. Meanwhile, 7 of Go's co-accused in her qualified human trafficking case have surrendered to authorities, but authorities are still waiting for the commitment order to know where to detain them. For News 5, Ria Fernandez, We Are One News.
Alam ko naman it's all about optics and messaging. I understand na ayaw niyo bigyan siya ng VIP treatment. I understand that. Pero ang point dito is she's a high-profile inmate with possible information to bigger fish.
Niya, diba?
To bigger fish. Definitely kasi may kinakatakutan siya. So there's bigger fish to fry. Ngayon, if this person na kinakatakutan niya may reaches within the Philippine system, tapos ilalagay mo siya sa isang cell with 44 others, you don't know naman who any of these inmates or yung mga naka-detainees na hindi ma-corrupt from sa, I'm not saying mangyayari
Yes.
But kasi sometimes these criminals prey on vulnerability of people Tingnan nila sino ba nangangailangan ng pera dito, sino nangangailangan support the family. Baka naman pwedeng magpa-hit, ganun. Alam mo naman these things happen in the system
So anong gusto mo mangyari?
No, i-secure siya. I'm not saying give her VIP treatment, but secure her in a place to a point
I get your point.
Na nagiging comfortable siya and she's comfortable enough to trust the system, ikanta niya yung buong system kasi it's not about being fair to iba at this point. We need to take down the pogo and criminality system in this country. By doing so, we need the names of these big fish who are, bastardizing the Philippines. By making a quick buck, mga walang...
Tingnan natin kung anong gagawin nila. Nakikita ko nga sa social media kasi may mga checklist yung mga tao, mga kapatid natin, dun sa mga high profile na na-detain or nakukulong. So ngayon daw, nung una, di ba may sinabi may lung infection, naka-check na yung lung infection. Wala pang check, X pa rin, yung wheelchair tsaka neck braces.
Parang si Kibuloy, lalagay mo ba sa Gen Pop o sa crowded cell? Hindi rin, di ba?
Kasi bakit siya papatayin dun? Wala naman siyang information or matitipuhan lang siya.
No, I'm sure may information sa Kibuloy. Sino backers niya?
Ewan ko.
Di ba?
Well,
ay, nako.
Okay. Anyway,
welcome
si
back.
Mina Benales nanonood
welcome
sa atin.
back, Angel, na tumaas na yung blood pressure.
Basta marami pa tayo. Dapat hopefully tomorrow, may mga ibang issues pa tayo. Kasi hindi lang naman tayo
kailan ba namatay ang issue dito? So much to talk about.
Sa Pogo, diba?
Yeah.
Kasi we have so much problem alone here in the country. Yung bigas natin na tenga dun sa port ngayon, sino may
Bell
kasalanan.
pepper, tomatoes.
Yung mga gulay natin na nakatenga din ngayon na
And yet-
sobrang supply.
and yet the prices
there
are
other
high.
people who are hungry.
The prices are high and nagugutom tayo.
Exactly.
Ayun.
Ano pa, 'di ba? Yung mga education department, ano
Yeah.
pa, agriculture. Yan ang mga isa-isahin natin sa susunod pa mga araw. Dahil importante po din na nakikita natin at nalalaman natin yung nangyayari around us. Hindi lang puro politics, 'di ba? Ito din yung mga nangyayari kay Alice Go. Diba?
Okay na?
Okay na.
Mariba. Anyway,
Wala
welcome.
kang wala kang quote.
Welcome back again. Yun. And,
Parang di ka naman masaya na bumalik ako.
And nakahapon pa tayo nakita.
Ay, ganun ba?
Welcome back. We're glad to have you. And more stories tomorrow. That wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunzad-Castro. And he is Angelo Castro III. We are One News, all sides, all the time.